Hello, Leo. Welcome in or welcome back to Go with the Flow Tarot. Your overall general energy for this reading is the Six of Wands. Six of Wands, wow. That was the Ten of Cups that just came out. The Six of Wands is very much success after a difficult time. It's like coming home after a war and everybody celebrating your triumphs and your accomplishments. And then your recent past energies is the Ten of Cups. Now we've pulled the Tower for the present moment. So I have a feeling that's where we're going to be living today. If you're new to the channel, I look for the sticky spots in the reading to help get you unstuck. So when I see cards like the Ten of Cups, I'm happy for you, don't get me wrong, but I don't pay a lot of attention to them because you don't need help with the Ten of Cups. Look how freaking happy those people are in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. That's a rainbow. I don't know why they didn't put a rainbow in this card, but you don't need help with happiness, right? So with the Tower being in your present moment, and then your upcoming energies being the Eight of Swords, I think that Eight of Swords is where we live, because that Tower is going to happen no matter what, right? If something isn't built on a stable foundation, it is going to come down. So just to make sure Leo isn't getting any surprises, we'll touch on that Tower briefly, but I think that Eight of Swords is where we live today. More on that Tower, please, for Leo's present energy, Spirit. What do we need to know about the Tower? Do we need to know anything about the Tower? It would appear we do. Ooh, with the Tower comes the Knight of Wands. So, I kind of think you might be initiating that Tower, Leo. Just let me double check, because if it's you, then you don't need help with that. More on that Tower, thank you. Three of Pentacles. Oh, sorry, I thought that was the Three of Pentacles. I don't know why. It's the Six of Pentacles, learning to give and receive equally. I'm with those cards, I just know that you initiated that Tower. You saw something, Fool at the bottom of the deck. You were enlightened by something in your Ten of Cups, Six of Wands energy, and it lets you know that something else wasn't as stable as you thought it was. You're initiating that Tower. What I would like to know about is your self-imposed restrictions coming up in the future. That is, instinctually I knew that's where we were going to be, but now I know for sure. So, thank you. I was going to say more on that Eight of Swords for Leo's upcoming energies. Two of Pentacles, which funnily enough, when I woke up this morning, I had my arms kind of like crossed like that. And that's the first tarot card that popped into my head this morning because of that. I was like, oh, this kind of feels like the Two of Pentacles. So, fun fact. Anyway, Two of Pentacles is you have too much on your plate. You're juggling too much. You need to focus your energy on one thing, or at least just one thing at a time. And yeah, I don't think you fully comprehend what that thing is with that Eight of Swords there. So, what is that one hat? Excuse me. What is that one hat that Leo needs to put on, Spirit? What does Leo need to see that they are not seeing? With that Eight of Swords, she's bound and tied and has a blindfold on, and she thinks those 8 swords are all around her and she can't move. But really, she actually has plenty of space to get out of there. I see now why people don't use these cards, but I freaking love them. Well, could be regarding a relationship. It could be regarding your home life, but the Four of Wands is a stable foundation. So a Tower isn't going to come and knock over the Four of Wands. So whatever you consider to be your Four of Wands, like I said, like your past energy was the Ten of Cups, and it shed a light on something that you realized wasn't as stable as you thought it was. And now you're focusing on something that is stable, but you're not seeing the full truth of it. So more of that. 4 of Wands, 2 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords, please, Spirit, for Leo. How do we get them unstuck from that 8 of Swords? What do we need to know? I might switch decks. Let's give this one more try. There's not that many cards out yet. Thank you. Aw. You're the Wounded Warrior. I wonder if you're not seeing your own strength, Leo. More, you know what? I am going to switch decks. More, please, on the 9 of Wands. Very much a card of perseverance. I think what Spirit's trying to say is that you need to focus your energy on what you know is stable. And even though you're feeling a little bit jaded from the past, you just, at the very least, can take solace in knowing that you're almost at the 10. And while the 10 of Wands is carrying a lot of burdens, he's carrying those burdens to get a harvest. So he knows that what he's doing is worth it. 9 of Cups, Knight of Cups, 5 of Wands, 7 of Wands. That's wish fulfillment or fake it till you make it. Knight of Cups is like knight in shining armor, or planting seeds, which is how I'm taking it. In a new direction, building a new, stronger foundation after that tower. 5 of Wands is learning about conflict and debate. And then 7 of Wands is yet another card of perseverance. He does have the vantage point in the traditional tarot. He's up higher than all the wands attacking him from below. He thinks that he doesn't have everything he needs. He feels very unprepared, but the truth of the matter is, with him up on that higher ground, he's very much prepared. I just realized I left my fan on. I'm so sorry. I hope it's not annoying for you, Leo. I'll shut it off for Virgo. Okay. So some forgiveness is definitely in order here. 3 of Swords is the card of heartbreak and sorrow. But with those 3 swords, you have placed them in your heart, and you can remove them by practicing forgiveness. And that is very much the vibe I'm getting off of this. Sometimes it's telling me you need to end something. This is telling me you need to practice forgiveness. What does Leo need to forgive in order to focus on building a stronger foundation, Spirit? And maybe that's not up for me to say. Maybe I should reword this. What should Leo's #1 focus right now be with that 2 of Pentacles? What should their main focus be? And I'll keep that forgiveness in mind. King of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles. Okay, so what I haven't mentioned yet, Leo, is that I already tried to do your reading once and it was interrupted halfway through. And now I'm getting like the exact same message again. You're clinging on too tightly to an idea with regards to either your home life or your finances. For whatever reason, I felt like grabbing this deck. I think the key piece of advice, Leo, is to understand that when towers fall, it's because they weren't built on a stable foundation. You're really, really pulling a lot of perseverance today. So before I pull one more card from the tarot, I'll just say that I think you should know that you're really, really close to closing out a cycle, and you powering through is your advice today. And there will be success, right? With that 6 of Wands is the overall general energy. One more card for advice for Leo from the tarot, please and thank you, Spirit. One main message to deliver. You might still have a little bit more to learn. You might want to consider bringing in some kind of mentor or gaining some kind of advice, because you are clinging too tightly onto the idea of something. You need to learn a little bit more from someone else in order to lift your self-imposed restrictions and put on one hat. You're almost there, Leo. You're almost there. But you are working on building a more stable foundation. You just have to let go of a few ideas that you've been clinging a little too tightly onto. So let's get Leo. How about a Sacred Creators Oracle? Let's do Sacred Creators and see if we can't get Leo some advice on letting go of whatever they're clinging too tightly onto in order to see the bigger picture. One oracle card for my lovely Leo collective, please. Okay. Overrate your intuition. Number 2. Overrate your intuition. I mean, your intuition is probably your best thing you could rely on in an 8 of Swords situation. Number 2 could be important to you. Essential meanings: powerful intuition, an influx of feminine energy, perceiving the mysteries of the universe, the divine, intuitive dreams and prophetic signs, a newfound clarity. Self-care message: a need to listen to your intuition, self-care for your inner voice, insisting on getting the truth from others, being cautious of hidden agendas, ignoring your inner knowing. I mean, we didn't pull the High Priestess, but that is very much what I was getting with that King of Swords there. Could be an Aquarius. You need to ask for help. I don't think so, though. Overrate your intuition. Every single time. This cheeky crystal ball is winking at you. Babe, it's saying you already know the answer. Quiet your mind and listen for the nudges of your soul. It's speaking to you. And it's time to pay attention to your gut reaction, hunches, and best guesses. When you tune into the language of the metaphor of dreams, you will notice the subtle signs that are continuously directing you, and your unconscious mind has some potent messages for you right now. If you run into an old friend or make a serendipitous connection with someone, it is meant to be noticed. If something feels untrue, it is meant to be noticed. There are no coincidences at this moment, and your intuition is a powerful tool that is becoming even stronger. Bask in the knowledge, and whatever you do next will be exactly right for you, as long as you check in with your heart and decide what feels good and what feels off. If something feels right, don't be disappointed by the experience it provides. What are your personal indications that your intuition is speaking to you? Where do you feel it in your body? What does a yes feel like and a no? Can you think of a time that you chose not to trust your intuition and learned how powerful it actually was as a result? Okay, well, we didn't pull the High Priestess, but that does make a lot of sense with that 8 of Swords. You're not seeing the full truth of something. I think between your intuition and asking for help, asking for somebody you know you can trust to just give you their opinion on the matter, right? Any extra information we can gather is always helpful. Whether we use it or not, we can keep it tucked away in our heads, even for another decision we have to make in life or whatever. So that's where I'm going to leave it, Leo. I hope this was helpful. I thank you ever so much for being here. I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.